terms of like their grade and
Their
everything.
grade, everything that I've showed you, and everything.
From your before and after pictures.
Before, after, now.
Because like that's like in person, you can really see the extra mark that wasn't there before. I mean, there's a handful of other stuff that just in the pictures don't really make sense, and I think it's still kind of whack that they don't give you like a list,
a report of what they found wrong.
Because if they did that, it would make more sense. But compared to what was
that 99.
Well, yeah, what was that? Minecraft?
Minecraft.
The way that one looked, like, I don't know.
The crinkles and the
like, there was like a bunch.
A bunch of shit we seen wrong with that.
And this one is like, at least in comparison to that one, that was like a clear 99. It doesn't make sense that this is a 92. It easily should be like 96, 97. You know, and it's not just me being biased. It's really, I think, just when you look at the two, because it's by the same company and everything, it doesn't really make sense that this is a 92 and not higher. But I mean, what do I know? I'm not a professional. Clearly, they have some kind of system that they try to follow.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's not following the system compared to that 99.
Yeah, I mean, and then he only sold it for like what?
Like 200, 210. It was 196 then, and then finally it was like 210.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if anything, I think it's probably good just to chalk it up to a good learning experience. You know, I'm not saying that they don't have their merits and stuff, but I feel like in the sense of, at least initially, them keeping in touch with you and it getting back relatively quick, as opposed to WADA, where like
I'm still waiting for that.
Still haven't heard anything from them. I think purely in that regard, that it's like, if you're, I can't think of a better word, but I guess like if you're like an amateur collector or something, and maybe you're still trying to like get your feet wet and everything, that Player One would probably be better. Especially if you just want a grade and you're not super like especially if you don't know for sure how good your stuff is, but you kind of just want a grade, you know, it would probably be better. But if you have a lot more experience and you kind of know what your stuff is worth, then probably sending it to WADA would be better.
It would be way better, but I thought, you know what I'm saying, this was doing good. It was doing good. I liked everything that they were doing, the whole, like, as far as getting it back quickly, grading and everything. Don't forget they lost it, remember?
Oh yeah, isn't this the same one?
Yeah, this is the one. They lost my damn game.
I feel like purely on that alone, that it purely because they lost it, that they should have bumped it up
or something, right?
I mean, who's to say? Maybe they were supposed to give you a 90, and then the 92 was.
The 92 was just an option.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's there's a handful of things I feel like make it a little less likely that you'd want to come back to these guys, just because of the way. I mean, again, like there's definitely good things about them, you know, in the sense of purely that they just keep in touch with you. But in the sense of the low grade and then adding marks to your game after the fact and losing it. Not to say that everybody is going to get their game lost, but the fact that it even happened in the first place.
To an expensive ass game at that.
Especially with a company like that, where it's like that's what you specialize in. Like that's what you're supposed to do. So the fact that you can just lose it, like I feel like there has to be so many like fail safes to prevent losing stuff like this, that somehow it just didn't. So like I feel like with that, again, if you're amateur or you don't really care too much, you know, maybe you just need a quick buck, you know, you happen to have a second copy of a game and you're just like, you know, whatever, I'll submit it, get a pretty decent score, hopefully, throw it on eBay, whatever. But I mean, like if you like for you, like this is like your passion. This is what you like. This is what you live and breathe.
Hell yeah, you know. But come on, I'm sorry. We both knew when I was sending it, it was going to be better than this. was going to be way better than 92.
No, yeah, 100%. Again, it's really hard to even try to gauge what the mindset is for them, purely because there is no feedback paper that shows why they deemed it or anything like that. I don't know if you can like reach out to them and like ask, and see if there's a way that you can.
At this point, I don't even care.
No, fair enough.
I don't even care no more. I'm just gonna go ahead and just save it as is.
So you're gonna.
I'm gonna regrade it. No, I'm gonna regrade it.
So how's that gonna work? You're gonna take it out of the box? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it out when it's time. We'll just crack it, pull it out.
You're gonna send it to Wada?
And send it to Wada whenever they start doing it again. Start grading.
Because that would be kind of interesting since you have like the official grade and everything.
Yeah, on this one, see how they grade it.
Yeah, so at least then you have like an actual, like you're not just guesstimating that it should be this grade, like you have an official grade. So if it isn't at the very least a 92, then like there has to be like, I mean if they grade it and then they give it a 92 as well, then maybe it just is a 92, but I just have this weird feeling that it's probably going to be like a 97, 98 maybe.
Yes.
Purely just because again, there's virtually nothing wrong with it. Oh, are you gonna try to clean the?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to clean that little chocolate or whatever the fuck it is on the back.
Yeah, it looked like it.
It looks like chocolate.
In the picture on the site, it looked like it could be some kind of like
glue or something. Yeah. But it looks like chocolate. Like
it does have some kind of like residual,
like barbecue or something.
Maybe. Yeah, it's really hard to. I was thinking marker at first, but it's not dark enough to be marker. In the picture, it looks a lot darker, but in person, it really does look like some kind of like
food or something.
Yeah, like a food smudge or something. But I mean, I don't know. I think the only concern is like if you do try to clean it, like if it leaves more of a mark after the fact, then it's kind of like.
I don't know. I'm gonna use that paint remover, acetone. Just put it on the Q-tip. They should just take it right off.
Super unfortunate.
I couldn't believe they did that shit. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's it's kind of whack. I mean, again, regardless of how well known they are or not, they're well known enough that they
should even did that.
They get a high influx of games, I'm sure. So it's like there's almost. I'm trying to be as considerate as I can, but it's like there's very little wiggle room when you're a big company, just because there's a lot of other big companies that make mistakes, but they compensate for those mistakes. For this, I don't see too much of like compensation aside from the fact that they keep in touch with you and let you know, they didn't let you know about the mark. They let you know that they lost your game.
Yeah.
And then they found it, but they didn't say that while we were grading it, something happened, but we're not going to mark that on your score or something.
Exactly.
It's just as far as and as far as they're concerned, they're almost kind of playing it off like as if that's how you gave it to us. So I don't know. I guess it's.
But on the before and after pictures, it's clear it wasn't there. The marks.
Yeah. So again, the fact that they didn't really mention that, and again, the lack of feedback paper, which I feel like in this case is just incredibly important, regardless of how much you're over it now. I still feel like that's very important to have, at least for reference, to be able to see, especially when you do send this to get graded to WADA, and then they give it back to you. At least you have notes you can cross compare, to see as much as the score in and of itself is enough. But you can actually see if they're looking at the same stuff and how much of it they're looking at, So I don't know. I do think that this is really unfortunate. Again, great learning experience. It's unfortunate.
Perfect learning
cough
experience.
up all that money just to get this lesson, but I mean, college classes are more expensive, I guess. It makes sense.
Well, don't forget, the first one I had. So remember, before I bought this one over again, it made up for all that price. Everything they lost.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm happy that, thank God, I was able to sell that at a high price.
Yeah. And
then get punked on the loose change that was left over.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is what it is, and now I know not to mess with it and try just push on for other stuff.
Yeah. And maybe just bite the bullet and just suck it up with the wait time for WADA.
Oh yeah, it's half a year.
Yeah.
Damn. And, don't forget about how they punked me on the return process.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Having to pay shipping and everything.
Well,
I don't know.
anybody out there that's wondering, just leave a comment or whatever, and on this whole crazy experience. And this is Chris with my friend Kobe, and yeah, it was a really jacked up experience.